Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. I'm obviously new to YouTube, seeing how this is my first video. Um, so welcome in general. Welcome to everyone who's watching this, whoever watches it, if anyone watches it. I just want to give you a tiny bit of backstory. By backstory, I mean precursor and then backstory, and then we'll get into it. So precursor, backstory. Um, so I just decided to start a YouTube channel because I wanted to. I've been wanting to for a little while now, actually. Um, I was really bored, to be completely honest. We just got a snow day. We're gonna have like 2 days of snow days, and then maybe a third, depending on the weather. You know how snow days are. But I just thought it'd be easy and fun to just try to get into it. I see that this is fun. It's fine. I actually like talking. I kind of get why people like it, but it's not easy. This is my second take. You don't know that, but this is my second take. Yeah, refilming it. It's been great. But yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. I definitely understand that now. Um and all I have to say is editing. It's great. I can see why people outsource other people for it because I hate it. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do, and I'm still trying to find a great place to start editing, like what program I want to use, what program is cheap, what program is free. So yeah, I'm trying to kind of feel it out, and then I've decided that my first take of this, you guys don't know, but was having I have a record player, and I was playing the Guardians of the Galaxy record on it, and I was like, I listened to my video, I was like, this is decent, and I was like, I'm gonna get copyrighted so hard for this, so let me try to take out the background noise, and let's say it did not work. It just straight up did not work. So I have to restart now, and I've decided to move a different place because my room was messy. So now I'm in the bathroom on the floor. It's great. Um, but yeah, just a little bit about myself before we really hop into it. So I'm from Oklahoma. I'm a college student. I wanted to stay somewhat anonymous, so I'm not gonna use my name because I'm a coward and I'm afraid people are gonna make fun of me. But anyway, I have been waiting to do this for a while, like I said earlier. I finally worked up the courage to do it. Probably because I was bored, and boredom, fear, which we'll get into that. Um, but anyway, I've been wanting to do this for a little while now. I finally worked up the courage. I just want people to know what I think. That sounds weird. Let me rephrase. I kind of want to make this channel a commentary, kind of share your feelings, just share personal thoughts, a relatability channel. I don't know. But I don't know what this channel is going to be yet. But for right now, I just kind of want to make it relatable, kind of talk out, just so you guys get comfortable with me, and I kind of share things about myself, just not my name right now because I'm a coward. Um, yeah, so I just have some thoughts, and I think you guys should know them. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is up to you. So keep on the lookout. So I was racking my brain. I was like, what am I going to talk about? So I was like, religion? No, because people get a little feisty. I didn't think that was a good idea for the first YouTube channel. I mean, I'm whatever about religion, but some people are like, religion, and whatever. So I was like, no, I'll keep away from that. I thought about talking about COVID because everyone has different experiences depending on where they live, because obviously YouTube is a platform where it reaches country, worldwide. States are different. If you're in the US, I'm in the US, I'm in Oklahoma, as I said earlier. So I thought that would be interesting to know if whether states are different. I know Oklahoma is pretty lax about COVID over here, depending on where you are in Oklahoma, because we're so rural that we don't have as many cases as New York City or just high populated areas and such. So I was like, oh, okay, keep away from that right now. But I was like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm gonna do. What's something relatable that everyone can do? Food. I was gonna talk about food. I'm not going to. But food. Everyone eats food. But I don't want to talk about food because we're in Oklahoma. The food is crap here. Maybe a different video. But except their barbecue is good. But fears. Everyone has fears. It's a pretty relatable thing, you know. Everyone has it unless you're, I don't know, a lizard person or you are the fear. But you didn't see that one coming. You are the fear, which I guess fears could have fears. So if you were a shark, what do sharks fear? Whales? Killer whales? Is that a thing? I know killer whales really don't like dolphins. So that's a thing. But I don't know about sharks. I know dolphins hate sharks and they'll just beat up sharks. So maybe sharks hate dolphins? I don't know. But I got off topic. I usually put fears into two different categories. So you have rational fears, which are fears that can happen any day. People who are scared of spiders, snakes, just things that they come across. I know there's this one fear, or it's a phobia, I guess, where like there's someone who's scared that a duck is like watching them at all times, which I think that one's funny. I love ducks, but this person does not. And then you have irrational fears, which rational fears are very specific depending on person. I mean, all fears are depending on person, but they're like really specific. They're like maybe it's like a past trauma thing, or maybe it's well, that could be irrational fears too. But this is more like specific, like probably is never gonna happen. Like you just think it's like that, but it's not really like that kind of thing. I'll get into it more. But yeah, so you have rational and irrational, and yeah, I'll go into a few examples. So initially, when I was looking up, like I was like, I'm gonna research for this video. It's gonna be great. So I was researching like general fears that people have, thinking that it's gonna be like, oh, snakes are the highest, or spiders are the highest, or whatever. I didn't think what I found was what I was gonna find, but it makes sense. Like it makes sense. So on a couple different websites that I first checked, I was like, oh, this is what I thought at all. But it makes sense, like I said. But so number one was like government corruption, which I didn't think about, but I'm not one to watch too much of the news, just because I think it's boring half the time. That's just my opinion. Also, college student TV. I don't watch too much TV unless it's like Netflix, so I know what's on Netflix. Um, but yeah, just general news. I haven't really kept up on it. So yeah, government corruption. People are really scared of that. Makes sense. Loved ones dying. People are scared of that too. That one is more of like, I wouldn't call that one a fear though for me. Like, I mean, yeah, it's sad and that stuff does happen, but I don't think about it constantly like, oh my gosh, my mom's gonna die, or oh my gosh, my grandma's gonna die. I don't think like that. Um, Maybe it's because I'm optimistic like that. I don't know. But or terrorism, which terrorism's bad and it happens a lot nowadays. I didn't think about that. It's bad. I mean, all three of those things are really bad, but yeah. I'm not gonna delve into that stuff. I said in the previous video that was like post-apocalyptic stuff, which I get it's not because that stuff happens now with like different governments and our government and terrorism and loved ones dying because of COVID and all that stuff. I'm not gonna talk about that stuff because that's really like, I mean, not dark. It's more on the realism side. I'm gonna stay with spiders and stuff. I'm gonna keep this lighthearted, tell you some stories and whatever. But yeah, I didn't think I was gonna find that, but eventually I got on a different website and I was like, and then I saw like snakes, spiders, heights, needles, and that stuff, which I'll go into. So let's get into it. Okay, so first, we're gonna start with rational fears, which rational fears, like I said earlier, is bugs, snakes, needles, clowns, which that one I suppose could be in a gray area because like I don't come across clowns that often. I mean, I don't like clowns either. Oh, remember in like 2016 when they had like It was about to come out and they had like the red balloons everywhere? Um, yeah, I thought that was funny. Other people did not because they were scared of clowns. Whatever. In heights. So everyone has like multiple or at least one of these, unless you're a lizard person. Um, of these are rational fears. And so, me personally, I'm afraid of heights and I'm afraid of needles, which I've never really been afraid of bugs and snakes and stuff just because me personally, I'm an environmental science major. I like breathe bugs and snakes. Like I see them all the time. I live bugs and snakes. Yeah, so I've never been, I'm a kind of an outdoorsy person. I've never been like freaked out by bugs or snakes. I actually like would like a snake as a pet, but that's a long time commitment. I also thought about getting a tarantula, but I did not know they live 8 years, and I don't think I could have a spider for 8 years. Yeah, but I could get a scorpion. Scorpions only live for 3 years, and that amount of time I can actually deal with. But anyways, yeah. So environmental science major, I deal with bugs and snakes all the time. So that wasn't really a thing. Like I said earlier too, like some people have like backstories with their fears. For example, like maybe a kid like got her on a carnival ride, so now they're scared of carnival rides. I keep referencing like carnivals and clowns and stuff for some reason, but yeah, if you're like they're scared of carnival rides, so they're gonna be scared. Like they had a trauma back then, and so they still have like a trauma associated with it now, so they don't like that kind of stuff now, which totally makes sense. The needles and heights for me personally, I never had like a backstory besides like you get shots as a kid, and you're like, wow, these shots hurt, and that's kind of it. So I never really had that as a kid. So I just shots hurt. I don't know. Like I still don't like shots now. So like you get a flu shot when you need a flu shot every year, every when you feel like it because you think it's gonna be bad this season, so you get a shot. I just like turn the other way. I'm like, eep. Like hopefully it doesn't hurt as bad as I think it's gonna hurt. But yeah, so me personally, I was like, I'm gonna try to get over my fears, right? I'm bigger than that. I'm not a pussy. I'm better. I'm built different. So I started giving blood, which go get blood. Such a good thing to do. I like giving blood. I don't mind it at all. Like if you don't like needles, I think getting shots are worse than giving blood. Maybe it's because like they're taking things out. I don't like when they put the thing in because it hurts my arm. But like giving blood really isn't that bad. It only lasts like 15 minutes max, max, max. Like you have to be going really slow. I give blood in like 5 minutes. But and it's really good. It helps people. Like I don't get to do that much like service stuff very often because I'm super busy, but once in a while I try to get blood every time I can. I know you have to wait a couple months after you get blood because you have to like replenish the blood. But yeah, I try to give blood anytime I can. I like giving blood. It's something that I feel like I can do and help out with. I don't have like the special blood like O-neg, but I have blood that can help people, so I give blood. Yeah, but that one's not that bad. It's a bigger needle for sure, but it's I don't mind it. And the people are usually really nice, and they're obviously trained nurses, so it's not that big of a deal. Um, but my inner voice was like, you can get over needles better than this or faster than this. You can do better, generally. And I was like, inner voice, what do you mean by this? And then I decided I was like, okay, maybe I do need to step it up. I'll get a tattoo. So most people know what tattoos are. I obviously do because I have a couple. But tattoos are it's a machine, a needle, plunging into your skin over and over until the tattoo is done. So I like usually when you first go in to get a tattoo, they recommend that you get it in like more muscly, fatty type areas like your legs, your bicep, tricep, thighs and calves and stuff like that. But I was like, no, I don't want that. So like they recommend like don't get it on your foot, don't get it on your spine, don't get it on your head, don't get it on your ribs like the first like couple times, like 1 or 2 times. So I was like, let me get it on my foot, because like it's gonna hurt, but nothing can hurt more than the worst place, right? After if you get the first one. So it's like, oh, if I get on my leg after this, it's not gonna hurt as bad because I got it on my foot the first time. So I got on my foot the first time, and it wasn't bad actually. I thought it was gonna be way worse. I still didn't like looking at it because just like it actually you don't really get to see the needle because it's moving so fast. So it wasn't bad. And I got a really small one on my foot. It only lasted like 15, 20 minutes, maybe 25 max. I don't know. Time flies differently when you're getting a tattoo, let me tell you. Um, yeah, but I didn't think it was too bad. But then my inner voice was like, really? A 15-minute tattoo? Is that really good enough? So maybe like 2 years later, I got another one on my ribs. Because I was like, I can do better than this. I'm built different. I'm not like the other girls. So I got another one. So let me just put this in perspective. So first I got on the foot, which it hurt because it's more bony. It still had like some meat on it. But it was more bony than my ribs. Hate to flex, but I got bony ribs. Um, so I got it on my ribs the next time. So let me, like I said, I'm gonna put this in perspective. So 20 minutes for the first one, an hour and 45 minutes on the next one. This next one was bigger. It had shading, which is different. I'll go into that. So the shading on it, it looks great. Like my tattoo looks fabulous. I picked a good person to do it. But so regular needles, just the line work on like so my foot tattoo and like the outline of the one on my ribs, they just got the one needle and they're going over and they're just doing the lines, which isn't bad. I was like, oh, nothing. I've done this before. As soon as I got to the shading on the rib tattoo, oh my goodness, I was like, I'm gonna die. This is awful. So it's basically 5 needles kind of strapped together to do shading. And like if you've never gotten a tattoo, this is kind of what it feels like. So a really, really bad sunburn with and like a cat scratch, like a needle, like just raking your skin over and over in these sensitive areas. Some people bleed, some people don't. And it's, let me tell you, it on my ribs, I definitely get why you're not supposed to do it on the ribs the first time because oh boy, it hurt. So yeah, now after that, I do not fear needles really anymore because I'm like, nothing can top that. Nothing can top that. Um, I don't, yeah, I just don't feel needles. I don't fear needles. I mean, I still don't like shots. Shots are bogus. I mean, get shots because shots are good, but I don't like shots still. But yeah, getting a tattoo, wild time. Another rational fear of mine, like I said, was heights. I still don't like heights. I've tried to get over it with doing some stupid shit, but still don't like heights. So stupid shit, for example, like I said, I was an environmental science major. So I was doing some field work outside, and we had to cross over the stream. It was like 20 feet across, and it was like 25 feet down, but you could easily cross it because the stream was like, it wasn't very deep. It was like a couple inches deep. You could just easily cross over it and then come back up. But there was this pipe that goes across the stream. The pipe was probably about 2 feet wide, hung up by some chains. And so my boss, she goes over it and she was like, oh, it wasn't bad. I was like, my inner voice was like, you can do that. If she can do that, you can do that. I was like, you're right. I am built different. I'm not like the other girls. So I go across it and about halfway through, like through the middle, my boss is like, isn't it shaky in the middle? Like it's pretty shaky in the middle, but I mean, it's not bad. I was like, don't talk to me. I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna die. It's 25 feet down, going into straight rocks. I'm gonna die. So I went across. I was in, let me tell you, it did not help. I did not like it. It was the worst. on the way back, I went down through the stream and came back up because I was not about to do that again. And then we weren't wearing the right boots either for it. So I'm wearing like muck boots, like mud boots, and they don't have the right grip for it. So yeah, it was just not a good situation. I shouldn't have done it, but yeah, no, it did not help my fear of heights. The only reason I really want to get over my fear of heights is because I love the concept of roller coasters, but I fear roller coasters. It's not the. This sounds weird. This sounds redundant. But I don't hate heights. It's the fact of like the possibility of falling, of like dropping down. I hate the gut feeling in your stomach when your stomach comes up and it's like butterflies in your stomach. I hate that. Um, so I hate roller coasters. If there's one thing, if there's a roller coaster where you don't know what's gonna happen and where it's like dark outside, like for example at Disney World they have Space Mountain. I've been on there one time, and it wasn't bad. I actually really liked it because you can't see what's going on, so you don't know when there's a drop, you don't know when there's a spin, a loop de loop or whatever. So I thought that was fun. But most roller coasters, you definitely know when there's a drop, and I hate that feeling. So I actively avoid roller coasters. And so the only thing I can think of to get over that fear is to skydive, which that's on a bucket list. Inner voice is like, maybe if you try skydiving, you won't be scared of heights anymore. And I'm like, you're right, inner voice, but not right now. First of all, I can't afford to do that right now. Second of all, I'm very scared. Third of all, it's on the bucket list. I'll maybe do it, maybe not. I don't know. Might die. I don't know. Um, yeah, so now we're gonna get into irrational fears. So, irrational fears. These fears can only happen in very specific scenarios, very specific locations, and everyone is different about it because these scenarios are finely tuned to their personal fears. Like for example, sharks. I think sharks are cool. I love sharks. I love the concept of sharks. Sharks are awesome. A lot of people don't like them though because they're like they eat people. That's not true. I mean, it kind of is. I don't know. Sharks don't eat as many people as people think. But for example, my friend, she's afraid of them. And I asked her if she's ever seen a shark, if she's ever encountered a shark. She's like, bro, I've never left Oklahoma. And I was like, then how do you know that you're afraid of sharks? And she's like, I don't like the concept of sharks. I'm like, bro, you live in a landlocked state with man-made lakes. There's no sharks in these lakes. She's like, but there could be a shark. Someone could have placed a shark in one of these lakes, and I'm gonna die from a shark. And I said, no, sharks can't live in fresh water. No. And yeah, but she's like, oh, any open water, I'm afraid there's gonna be a shark, which is so weird. But I definitely can't. I can't blame her because I have a fear of a sea animal, which I'll get into. Um, yeah, but it's one of those things. It's like very specific. So she's scared that she's gonna get attacked by a shark in Oklahoma, a state with I think maybe two natural lakes, and the rest are man-made lakes in a landlocked state. She's gonna get attacked by a shark. You're more likely to get attacked by a catfish than you are getting attacked by a shark. So just something to think about. Okay, so my irrational fears. Have you ever heard of bobbit worms? I bet you haven't. Well, I'm going to introduce them to you, and you'll be terrified of these things. So, the best way I can describe a bobbit worm, it's kind of like a centipede, but they live at the bottom of the ocean and they're huge. So centipedes are like 12 inches max. Like the biggest recorded centipede was 12 inches, which is a foot. Bobbit worms can be 10 feet long, and they're about like this big around, like the shape of my face. And so they have these pinchers that like clasp and like pull things under, and so they'll peek a little bit out of the sand. Oh, I'll put a clip in, but they'll peek a little bit out of the sand, grab the thing and suck it under, and I'm afraid that's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be walking on the sand, and then boom, bobbit worm grabs my foot, takes me under. I'm gonna die. Yeah, so I don't like bobbit worms. They're really scary. And yeah, they're just straight up horrifying. And I'll definitely put in a clip because I think you deserve to see them. They're awful. So yeah. Another fear of mine is well, I don't know if it's technically an irrational fear because it can definitely happen. Like this can definitely happen to me. But I wouldn't even say it's unlikely. Like okay, so I hate riding buses because I'm afraid they're gonna tip over. Like too many people on them, it's just gonna tip over when they turn or something. And so I have this gut feeling like that I'm gonna die from a bus crash. Like that's how I die. Like if I'm dead, that's how I die. I just can see it. Like I get dreams about me dying in a bus. Um, yeah. And so if you see on the news about a bus crash, look for my face because I'll be there, guys. I'll be in the bus crash because I'm gonna die by a bus. Not getting hit by a bus, being in the bus, and it has to specifically tip over, not like just crash. It's got to tip over, and that's how I die. But yeah, so I mean, I kind of actively avoid buses. Like I just don't prefer buses as my mode of transportation. If I have to take a bus, I'll take a bus, but like not my favorite. Yeah, so not a big fan of buses. Okay. So now you know some of my fears. I know everyone has a weird fear. Um, I can assume, unless you're a lizard person watching this, then tell me if you have a fear anyways. Lizard people, regular people, I know you guys have some weird fears, weird stories about fears, maybe regular fears. Put them down in the comment section because I'm really curious. Because I think fears kind of like tell who you are as a person. Just like something about you, like your fear. Also, what keeps you up at night. Just like things that just you dream about, just scary things like I don't know, nightmares about fears because that's what nightmares are about, your fears. um yeah, so just put it in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed this, just chatting, talking. Yeah, but really put stuff in the comments. I'm really interested to know what your guys' fears are because like I said, everyone's different. So yeah, I'm really curious. And yeah, I just want to find out about your fears, get to know you pretty intimately. But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick thanks. This is gonna seem weird because they're kind of big YouTubers, but Curtis Connor, Drew Gooden, and Danny Gonzalez. They are commentary YouTubers on YouTube, obviously, because that's the platform that we're all doing this on. I absolutely love and draw a lot of inspiration from them. I subscribe to all three of them. I'll put them in the link below in the description. But yeah, if you guys, Drew, Curtis, Danny, if you guys are watching this, thank you. Also, yee yee, because I'm an Oklahoman, so yee yee. And if you're not watching this, I'd like to think that you guys are here in spirit with me. That's right, your spirits, they're trapped in this video, and I'm holding your spirits hostage unless I get 1,000 likes on this video, or 100, or a good amount of likes that I think is appropriate. Yeah, so if you guys are fans of Danny, Curtis, and Connor, wait, Danny, Drew, and Curtis, please like this video. Otherwise, their spirits are trapped here forever and they cannot make more videos. Yeah, and I'll let them know about the situation because they can't make any more YouTube videos until they like this one. So yeah. But in actuality, thank you so much for support, whether you are supporting or you're not supporting this video. Whether you like it or not, I benefit from it. So yeah, just I'm if you guys like this, I'll keep making videos. Like I said, this is my first one, so I was just kind of judging it off of this one. If you guys like it, let me know. If you guys don't like it and think I can improve somehow, also let me know. And if you guys just blatantly don't like it, let me know, because I'm interested. Also, I don't care that much, but I'm interested. Yeah, so click subscribe. Welcome to the frog army, because I'm greenish frogs, frog army, group of frogs. It's called an army, so you're part of the army. I guess that makes me the recruiter then, doesn't it? Well, that's all for me. So I'll see you next time. I'm out.